keep going back to the same things. Ryan being as quiet as he has been for this long is very weird. It's very sus.
Oh, and so Ryan hasn't said shit yet. He hasn't. So he still has.
He hasn't said nothing.
Interesting.
It was weird that there was no mention of the baby in the divorce decree. That's weird.
Well, I think.
Oh shit! See, I don't know. Oh, so they finally got their divorce.
Yeah. Well, I think
they are divorced.
Don't say anything till after the baby's born.
A month right after she left, Gypsy texted me a bunch of pregnancy tests and said she was pregnant. Okay, well, who's the father? And it could have been me or Ken at that point. So she didn't know. She was like, I don't know.
The whispers and speculations surrounding Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ryan Anderson have taken on a life of their own, spinning an intricate web of drama that no one seems able to unravel completely. Once a peripheral figure in Gypsy's tumultuous story, Ryan has found himself thrust into the limelight amidst the shockwaves caused by Gypsy's announcement of her child's birth. His silence, deafening in its ambiguity, has fueled a frenzy of speculation. What could his absence mean? Why hasn't he stepped forward to clarify his involvement or lack thereof in this new chapter of Gypsy's controversial life? Someone says, you're lacking motivation. The narrative intensified following Gypsy's strategic announcement of her baby's arrival, allegedly on December 28th, timed perfectly for maximum media buzz as it was unveiled on New Year's Day.
Now that Gypsy Rose Blanchard had her baby pretty early, are we not thinking that maybe those maternity test results were in fact fake? Because the math ain't mathin'. Does this mean that Rai maybe is a daddy after all? I know that people recently were speculating that Gypsy was at Ryan's house due to the picture she posted and it looked like it was his headboard behind her. Maybe that's why she was there, because maybe he is the daddy. All I know is the date that she gave for the conception and the date that she gave birth are not matching up, unless she had like some superhuman pregnancy that doesn't line up with a regular pregnancy timeline. And also, why is Ryan being so quiet right now? It's kind of sus. He was going live like at least once a week, if not more, and ever since they finalized their divorce, we haven't seen or heard anything from him. Kind of odd.
But as congratulations poured in and questions swirled, Ryan remained conspicuously silent. Observers are left to wonder, is this reticence a calculated move, or is it simply the absence of anything meaningful to say? Online theories are running wild, suggesting everything from legal entanglements to deliberate distancing. Yet every second of his silence only seems to amplify the mystery. And NASA physicist, scientist Marcus Benet confirms that traveling into the galaxy causes a severe inflation in the missing time between billions of years. Commentators have weighed in on the unusual circumstances. One noted, if the timeline suggests Ryan could be connected to the baby, his silence is baffling. Even if he's not involved, you'd think he'd want to clear his name. Another added, this lack of communication only makes him look more suspicious. If he's trying to avoid the drama, he's failing. This silence speaks volumes. The timeline itself has been scrutinized down to the day. Gypsy's baby, reportedly conceived around March 2024, aligns closely with the period when she and Ryan were still finalizing their divorce. The proximity of these events raises unsettling questions about whether Ryan could have been aware of or even involved in the pregnancy. Divorce documents allegedly contain no mention of a child, a glaring omission that has fueled even more speculation. If Ryan knew about the baby, why wasn't it addressed legally? One observer asked. And if he didn't, why is he staying quiet now?
Keep going back to the same things. Ryan being as quiet as he has been for this long is very weird. It's very sus.
Oh, and so Ryan hasn't said shit yet. He hasn't. So he still has.
He hasn't said nothing.
Interesting.
It was weird that there was no mention of the baby in the divorce decree. That's weird.
Well, I think.
Oh shit! See, I don't know. Oh, so they finally got their divorce.
Yeah. Well, I think
they are divorced.
Don't say anything till after the baby's born.
Adding fuel to the fire, panelist Nina Norton highlighted the odd timing of the pregnancy. The baby's conception date falls right in the middle of their marriage timeline, she pointed out. If Ryan is the father, it's strange he hasn't said anything, and if he's not, his silence still doesn't make sense. It just leaves more room for speculation.
She is high risk just because of her health history, how convoluted it is, and she's high risk. So when you have a high risk pregnancy, typically what OBGYNs want to do is not have the person go into labor. They basically want to schedule a C-section so they can control that environment as much as they can to put less stress on the baby and less stress on the mother. Right. Especially now if that baby's got that microdeletion. The baby looked very small. I'm not going to speculate. I don't know if the baby has it or not. I have no idea. No idea. But if the baby does, that's another reason why they would plan a C-section.
Theories abound about Gypsy's motivations. Could she have intentionally kept the pregnancy from Ryan? Some speculate that if Ryan truly didn't know, it might explain his current silence. But if he was aware, why hasn't he addressed it publicly? This situation is a mess, another commentator remarked. The timing alone makes it impossible to ignore.
In the birth date, she's wanting to make it sound like it's a New Year's baby, but it's not. Even if I don't even know if I believe that the baby was born on the 28th of this month. I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
Wasn't the 28th the day she got out of jail?
Yes. They even mentioned that in the article. So it's the 1 year anniversary of her release from prison. Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely had. She either A is lying about that or B had a C-section, because there's no way she just gave birth naturally on that day. I mean, what are the odds?
Yeah.
As the story unfolds, every unanswered question seems to lead to another. Is Ryan Anderson's silence a shield from the chaos, or is it evidence of something deeper? The stakes are high, the timeline suspiciously tight, and the public is left waiting for the next bombshell in a saga that refuses to settle. Whatever happens next, this tangled drama is far from over. The drama surrounding Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ryan Anderson only deepens as speculation continues to swirl. Every new revelation or silence adds fuel to the fire, with one panelist summing it up. When you look at how everything lines up, it's hard not to wonder if there's more to this story. Ryan's conspicuous silence has become the focal point, creating an air of mystery that only amplifies the intrigue. With a lack of legal documentation, suspicious timing, and Gypsy's continued theatrics, the situation leaves endless room for theories.
I think she had it back around the time with the book signing, because the online book signing, if you remember, she looked like she had been through the trenches in that online book signing. Yeah. She looked like somebody that had been up with a kid all night.
Yep.
And she looked like that also when she did that online interview. Not that online interview, the interview with that lady.
Yeah.
And she sat down. But she had been looking, like, I think I remember even saying in the video, like, she looks like she's been pulling out her hair. I don't truly think...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't truly think she had that baby on the 28th, because, like you said, the whole hacker thing, having to deal with that, going back and forth with TikTok, checking your notifications and your emails, and that's a lot to be dealing with. Would you give a damn about your TikTok account if you just gave birth? No.
While Ryan remains elusive, Gypsy's actions have been anything but subtle. From the alleged hacking incident to the carefully timed announcement of her baby's birth, many suspect she's orchestrating a web of distractions to control the narrative. Her behavior during the days surrounding the birth announcement has drawn sharp criticism. Panelist Nina didn't hold back, saying, "The whole thing feels too convenient. Gypsy claimed she was in labor on the 28th, yet she had the energy to clap back in comments and set up new TikTok accounts. It just doesn't add up."
Right? I don't know if it's for paternity or what, I don't know, but I do know that he has an attorney and she has an attorney, and so what's so funny is I found this out days ago, right? But I didn't want to say anything because I was like, well, why would he have an attorney already, and why would she have an attorney, and why would they be trying to figure out the logistics of everything if the baby's not here yet?
Right. Just real quick, some people had a question about the wristband.
Others echo these sentiments, pointing out how improbable it seems for someone in labor to be embroiled in a hacking scandal. It feels staged, one panelist remarked, adding that the timing of the hacking incident seemed more like a diversion than an actual crisis. The alleged hack, where her TikTok account was reportedly taken over by someone with a suspiciously foreign-sounding name, raised even more eyebrows.
Hypothetically, she gave birth on the 28th. That means that while she was in labor, she was at the same time creating a new TikTok account in the comments, clapping back with people, desperately emailing, TikTok and all this, trying to get her account back. What person does that when they're in labor? I guess Gypsy would, but none of it adds up to me. So I'm with you. I'm like, now I do wonder if I kind of lean towards this being a design distraction. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Nina bluntly stated the timing is too perfect. First, her account gets hacked, then she's back just in time to make a grand announcement about the baby. It feels like classic misdirection.
state of Missouri. Whatever happens to that child, they need to be held accountable. We can't worry about something we can't control. The state of Missouri allowed her, after 8 years, after having her mother assassinated. Yeah. No, it's on the state of Missouri. They should have done the right thing instead of letting a monster like her out and allow her monster of a stepmom and her trashy ass dad to have responsibility for her and the child. Yeah. And then dumbass Ken goes ahead and have a baby by her. Yeah, no, it's on the state of Missouri. That's something that they need to be sued for. After whatever happens, they need to be accountable.
Some even question whether the hacking incident was fabricated entirely. One observer noted, sure, the guy went live, but why was he speaking in another language, supposedly from a different country? Yet somehow it's all connected to Gypsy. The whole thing feels like an elaborate distraction.
They made off of that. I don't know.
Quite a bit. Quite a fucking bit.
Probably. I'm not very, I don't know how TikTok works. I don't know how.
I mean, but it was just nonstop for hours. It was nonstop, like gift for hours and hours and hours,
Basically, all I know is that like roses or just like pennies not worth anything. That's pretty much all I know. But he was getting a lot of gifts and he was going wild. He was, he was living it up. But I don't know, man. Now you got people saying that there's people on Ken's side of the family that are Turkish and shit. So, great. Injustice for all is here. I'm glad he's here.
If this was indeed a ploy, it might have been designed to shift attention away from the hospital and the baby's arrival. Gypsy's actions during this period only deepened doubts about the authenticity of her narrative. Meanwhile, Ryan's silence has led to a flurry of theories, each attempting to explain his absence. Some suggest he's simply avoiding the drama. Honestly, if I were him, I wouldn't want to be involved in this mess either, said one panelist. However, others argue that his silence only makes things more perplexing. Could legal constraints, such as a non-disclosure agreement, be at play? As one commentator speculated, if there's something legal going on, that would explain his complete radio silence. Maybe he's being cautious or waiting for the dust to settle. Another possibility is emotional detachment. After their tumultuous relationship, Ryan may simply want to close this chapter of his life. Engaging in the narrative, especially with the added complexity of a baby, could be emotionally exhausting. This might be his way of saying, I'm done, one panelist noted. Yet, the most pressing question remains, could Ryan be the baby's father? If he suspects he is, he might be waiting for confirmation before making any public moves. Conversely, if he knows he's not, he may see no reason to address the rumors. Nina summed it up, saying if there's even a chance he's the father, he's probably waiting for solid proof. But if he's certain he's not, his silence might just be his way of stepping away from all the chaos. As this tangled web continues to unfold, the questions remain unanswered, and the intrigue only grows. Whether Ryan is distancing himself deliberately or caught in legal and emotional complexities, his silence has become as loud as Gypsy's theatrics. The intrigue surrounding Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ryan Anderson has taken yet another fascinating turn, with Ryan's silence now the centerpiece of speculation. For some, his refusal to comment feels like a deliberate act of self-preservation, a way of washing his hands of Gypsy's ever-evolving whirlwind of drama. But for others, his quiet stance only deepens the mystery, raising questions about what he might be hiding, or if he's hiding anything at all. Opinions among the public are as divided as ever. One viewer applauded Ryan's decision to stay out of the chaos, saying, "Honestly, I respect Ryan for staying quiet. Gypsy's life is a circus, and I don't blame him for not wanting to be part of it." On the flip side, another couldn't help but feel suspicious, stating, "It's weird that Ryan isn't saying anything. Even if he's not involved, you'd think he'd want to make that clear. The silence only makes him look more suspicious." Ryan's quiet absence, intentional or not, has become its own kind of spotlight, keeping him squarely in the center of the narrative. His role, whether significant or peripheral, remains a critical missing piece of this convoluted puzzle. If he is indeed the father, the implications could ripple through both legal and emotional spheres, reshaping not only his life, but also the future of Gypsy's newborn child. Yet, even if he's not involved, his silence continues to shape public perception, adding a heavy dose of ambiguity to an already tangled story. As one panelist aptly summarized, Ryan's role in this is the missing piece of the puzzle. Whether he's connected to the baby or not, his silence adds a layer of mystery to an already complicated story. And that mystery is what keeps people talking. Each day without a statement from Ryan builds anticipation for his potential next move, if he decides to make one at all. Ryan Anderson's silence has grown louder than words, becoming a statement in its own right. In the chaos of Gypsy Rose's life, his refusal to engage speaks volumes, leaving everyone guessing about his motivations. Is he steering clear of the drama to protect himself? Could legal constraints be tying his hands, or is he simply uninterested in the media's spectacle surrounding Gypsy? Whatever the reason, one thing is undeniable. His absence hasn't gone unnoticed. As the saga unfolds, all eyes remain on Ryan. Will he step forward to break his silence, or will he continue to let the unanswered questions linger? His next move, or lack thereof, could change the trajectory of this entire story. So what do you think? Is Ryan hiding something, or is he just wise enough to stay out of the chaos? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on Gypsy Rose Blanchard's ever-dramatic life.